All right, it's the end of the year. Today's the 31st, today in the 12th month of the year 2025. And of course, in the next 24 hours thereabouts, we'll be saying Happy New Year. Well, of course, you know the program is covered in 15 right on 32 FM 94.9. Let's take a look at all the sporting headlines and making the rounds today in the exciting world of sport. Yesterday, in the African Cup of Nations, we had so many games go down, and our darling Super Eagles of Nigeria were in action. They won by 3-1. And of course, you talk about the things that happened in that encounter. 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿 turning himself into prime Zinedine Zidane yesterday. He scored a brace for himself, which definitely was his third goal in the colours of the Super Eagles of Nigeria. And then for one man, Paul Ebere Onuachu, well, he scored a goal yesterday, and that was his first goal also for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, and his fourth for the Super Eagles since the year 2021. And then you talk about the Super Eagles themselves. Well, of course, they finished the group stages of the African Cup of Nations with a perfect record, 3 from 3. And of course, scoring 8 goals in the course of the group stage. When was the last time we achieved this feat? This was in Cameroon when we won all 3 group stage games. But we know what happened after that event. There in the group stage, we went into the round of 16 to play against Tunisia, and we lost by 1-0. But will history repeat itself, or will the Super Eagles of Nigeria be wary of what happened the last time they secured the maximum 9 points from their opening 3 games in the group stages of the African Cup of Nations? On the show this lovely morning, we'll take a listen to the words of Victor James Osimhen, who captained the boys yesterday, and of course likened his captaincy also to the likes of William Troost-Ekong, even Wilfred Ndidi, and also those we've had in the time past. And then we'll listen to the words of the head coach of the side, Sekere Chow, also speaking about what we expect in the next game, which is the round of 16. Remember, our opponent is not clear yet. We will be facing in the round of 16 of this year's African Cup of Nations, and the Sekere Chow says we should expect lots of goals in the coming games. Outside African Cup of Nations, we also have updates from the English Premier League, where games went down yesterday. Manchester United 1-1. It ended there at the Old Trafford against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Chelsea also at the Stamford Bridge against Bournemouth. The game ended 2-2 for Everton. Well, of course, they got a result which was good enough for them. And then they talk about Arsenal Football Club. Revenge fully served. They won by 4-1 over Aston Villa. But then for so many fans who loved the game, or who loved the game of football, from what they watched yesterday, they would say Amadou Onana was the reason Arsenal won that game in the second half. 0-0 it ended in the first half. And of course, Gabriel Magalhaes, I need to mention that. Set piece, a day back. Of course, his presence was felt yesterday, and for Gabriel Jesus, so we'll listen to what he has to say specifically, as that is also the story of many of us in the year 2025. Welcome once again to Scoreboard in 15 right on 32 FM 94.9, and you are listening to the voice of Oluwatimilei SAMIES on the program this lovely morning. We start straight from the proceedings of the African Cup of Nations, of the games that went down over the course of yesterday, and we take a look at the group stages of those nations who have qualified into the next round of the competition. Remember, we have just 4 games set to go down later today, which will round off that's the group stages of the African Cup of Nations. From the results we had yesterday, we had Senegal defeating Benin by 3-0. Democratic Republic of Congo also defeated Botswana by 3-0. Tanzania and Tunisia 1-1. And of course, that result ensured that Tanzania displaced Angola in qualification as one of the best losers to the round of 16 of this year's African Cup of Nations. Uganda, they lost by 3-1 to the Super Eagles of Nigeria. But one thing about the Super Eagles right now is, how do we keep a clean sheet? In all 3 games, we've considered goals, 1 goals. But of course, we've been the best scoring side also in the course of the group stages of the African Cup of Nations. Let's go back to first and also enjoy how the game went down between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Cranes of Uganda.
None of that counts. There is the whistle. We're underway in phase Mehdi, who scored against Tunisia. Mehdi runs away. Mato, it's pulled it inside, outside, goes past Semakula. Pass to Mehdi as well. The cutback is there, but the finish is not. Osimhen charging forward. Backtracking is Onyango. Osimhen cuts back into the area, looks for space, and it's there for Onwacho. Point blank save by Dennis Onyango.
Commendable selflessness from Osimhen there, because he could have struck a goal himself.
Another chance. Delabachero, square ball, and it's come. Second chance, firmly taken by Onwacho. His fourth international goal, but a first in a game that Nigeria so desperately want to win to maintain. Chukwueze, decent looking ball, and a chance to score, and slotted. That was a glorious finish from Onyedika.
I told you at the beginning, this is a player to look out for.
It's not often you see 3 goalkeepers used in a tournament. 3 in a game is quite rare. Chukwueze looking for 3 here, Nigeria, and they claim it brilliantly.
Onyedika again.
Well, Onwacho and Onyedika have been superb in midfield, but suddenly Onyedika. Lovely ball, Mato with a chance to pull something back, and Rogers Mato has got a goal that gives Uganda at least a consolation and something to celebrate. 10-man Uganda score against full-strength Nigeria.
We're talking about positives, my friend.
Well, that's pretty much the match done. The Beninois referee signals the end of this tie, and Nigeria romp confidently towards the knockout stages.
All right, today you listen to how the game went down between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Cranes of Uganda yesterday. Now, let's take a listen to the words of the captain of the side yesterday. He played 80 minutes thereabout. That's Victor James Osimhen. Well, speaking about it being a dream to captain the Super Eagles of Nigeria, especially leading the boys out. It's not about the passage of handband to him in the course of the game. He led them out. The words of Victor James Osimhen, and speaking about the course of his captaincy.
The dream come true for me, yeah, because I grew up watching the Super Eagles and seen a lot of great captains like 𝐃𝐈𝐒 and stuff. Because I see 𝐃𝐈𝐒 as a mentor in terms of this kind of role, and indeed he has also learned a lot from him. So for me, he's one of the very best captains we've gotten in a long time. So to lead the boys out, I'm really happy that now in my turn to be the captain for today's game, we didn't lose. And we won the game, so yeah, I'm really happy about the victory.
Really happy about the victory. Well, he still awaits his 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th goal at the African Cup of Nations. And remember, he just 5 goals short of Rashidi Yekini, who is the top scorer for the Super Eagles of Nigeria. Now, let's also take a listen to the words of 𝐂𝐿𝐒, where of course he was happy with the results in which the Super Eagles had yesterday. But what can we do better in the upcoming games? The words of 𝐂𝐿𝐒 and numerous questions which was thrown at the Franco-Malian Nigerian head coach.
9 points in the group, 8 goals scored. We played the round of 16 game here in Fez on the 5th of January against either Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire or Mozambique. What should Nigerians expect directly from you and from the team?
I think we expect to score a lot of goals. What we did.
I am at the 𝐵𝐿, 𝐒𝐿𝐒, and Raphael Onyedika. Just give me your assessment of those guys.
Because the training session, they deserve to be in the team. So I just give them a chance to show that they can continue with the team. So like I said earlier, this is not, if you want to win something, this is not a question about 11 players. Because sometimes you have an injury or a red card, and if you bring a player who didn't play, so I prefer this guy for everything. So Nigeria, they show to Nigeria, we have a group to play. So actually I have pain in my head because I have to do some choice.
All right, you listened to 𝐂𝐿𝐒 there also saying he has a headache in that player selection. Well, for the Super Eagles of Nigeria, 𝐒𝐿𝐒, Rihanna Lebioshu, who gave a good account of himself also yesterday, and Raphael Onyedika. Well, of course, you can tell that they did so well yesterday in Nigeria's victory over the Cranes of Uganda. So we'll take a look at the already qualified nations into the next round, first and second. In Group A, we have Morocco and Mali. In Group B, Egypt and South Africa. In Group C, Nigeria and Tunisia. In Group D, we have Senegal and the Democratic Republic of Congo. Later today, it will all be, will Algeria also concluded the African Cup of Nations group stages with a maximum 9 points. Burkina Faso and Sudan, they are in contention to qualify. But also in Group F, Cameroon, Ivory Coast and Mozambique, who is going to qualify and also who is going to sit out as the best loser in this group. Let's join our partners now, the BBC, to take a listen to what they have for us. And when we come back, we will just wrap up the show with that's a moment full of thanksgiving about 𝐷𝐵 and also how that also corresponds to every one of us, the life we've lived in the year 2025. But first, the BBC Premier League updates.
BBC Premier League update from the home of Premier League football.
Hello, I'm 𝐿𝐿𝐿 at the BBC Sports Centre. Arsenal are now 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League. It follows a comfortable 4-1 win at home to Aston Villa. All of the goals came in the second half. Gabriel was on the score sheet on the defender's first start since returning from injury. Gabriel Jesus with his first goal since New Year's Day. Winning boss Mikel Arteta called it a beautiful evening. Manchester United were held to a 1-1 draw at home to Wolves. That's just the third time that the league's bottom side have gained a point all season. Ruben Amorim was frustrated to find his team lacking.
We already knew it would be a different game if you compare to Newcastle. We needed more imagination today to create chances. We lack the 1-against-1. That characteristic is really important in this kind of game. We struggle also in the first half trying to steal the ball. They put a lot of men inside in the midfield.
Perhaps the most thrilling game of the night came at Chelsea. They drew 2-2 at home to Bournemouth. Enzo Fernandez powered the ball in as the hosts came from behind to lead 2-1 before Justin Kluivert levelled the scores. Andoni Iraola's team battled for their point, but they also haven't won in any of their last 10.
Yes, it's happening a lot to us. I think the points we are getting, both games against Chelsea, even the game against United, games where you feel you've had a good performance, and it's not a great reward, 1 point, no, but it's true that before coming probably is a point that you will have taken.
Antoine Semenyo played for Bournemouth despite Manchester City reportedly being close to agreeing terms to sign him. Also drawing 2-2 were West Ham and Brighton at the London Stadium. The hosts are now 4 points from safety. There were wins as well for Newcastle at Burnley and Everton at Nottingham Forest. And for more football news from the BBC, go to bbc.com/football.
All right, today listen to the BBC Premier League updates. So now we go back to the Emirates Stadium and take a listen to what 𝐷𝐵 has to say, revealing the power of the powerful reason he wore the "I belong to Jesus" that's a bass player right after his goal, coming on as a substitute to replace Victor Gyökeres, and of course he scored that goal. And this is how far we can go on to this edition of the show, but I'll leave you with the words of 𝐷𝐵, reflecting on how Jesus is truly powerful in the life we live. We'll meet again in the afternoon by 3:30. Scoreboard Reloaded. I am SAMIES, your sports captain. I'll see you enjoy the rest of the day, and bye for now.
Having this t-shirt.